Mark says, never forget this is about Kyle. That's the thing. I don't think he wants a quarterback that overshadows him. Like, even when he had Matt Ryan as the MVP, Kyle got all the credit. Everyone's like, well, Matt Ryan's good. And yeah, he deserves the MVP because of his numbers, but where do those numbers get this system? What a great job by Kyle Shanahan. It's all about him. And if you bring in Rodgers or Brady, it is no longer about Kyle. Kyle is just the guy who needs to get out of the way at that point, and we know he can't get out of the way.
Right. And I think with Lance, because he chose Lance, he's going to get the same credit.
All the credit.
Like Lance is going to get a ton of credit, right? But it's all going to be, well, Kyle Shanahan developed him. This is his guy. Like, it's going to be. They're going to be. He
wasn't ready his rookie year, and something behind the scenes that Kyle did transformed him. When actually he was ready the whole time. He outperformed Jimmy in training camp. No one wanted it anyway. But that's going to be the narrative.
Yeah, like this guy played 19 games, and Kyle groomed him to be
the most remarkable development ever. Actually, he was ready the whole time. Sorry. Rob Martin, what's up, man? You hit the nail on the head. Kyle wants his way with his guy. Brady would be the same, so they wouldn't be on the same page. I would like to get McCaffrey, though. I brought this up yesterday. I had a lot of people talking about it on Twitter. McCaffrey. I think this is something Kyle Shanahan absolutely would do. It's so in his personality. Make a big swing at an elite, quote-unquote, running back who may or may not have some injury issues. I mean, the Niners are also linked to Saquon Barkley this offseason. I mean, I'd hate to think the Niners are thinking along these lines. But I get it. It's like their run-first team. You got Trey Lance back there. Barkley and Lance in the same back. Barkley and McCaffrey. Yeah, that would have been great. Great. But both guys have gotten hurt. Both guys are really expensive. And both guys reinforce what we already know about running backs. They're easy to find, and they're really, really injury prone. I wouldn't make big investments in that position ever. That's my new philosophy on football. Ever.
I agree. I've felt that way about running backs for a long time. The only type of veteran running back, big time veteran running back I would be interested in is like something like the Leonard Fournette deal, like when Leonard Fournette got cut and then he signed with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for like $2 million. And
you're basically signing him for, a rookie contract level deal.
Yeah. Like if you're a veteran running back, you're looking to revive your career, I shouldn't have to go out of my way to pay you to come. Like, you want to come here on a cheap deal or whatever, because we run the football here, right? So it's a priority. So if you're looking to put up stats, come here on the cheap and we'll get you your stats, and you can then go have some other sucker pay you a huge contract the following year after you get your stats. But
every time the Niners have made a big swing at the running back position, they've whiffed. Every time they've brought in a player, an expensive player with an injury history, it hasn't gotten better. Like, this isn't the Jason Verrett deal where like you gave the guy a 1-year non-guaranteed contract. This guy's making $14-17 million a year. He signed through 2025, I think, and he's played 10 games the last 2 years. Yeah. This is not the place where injured players come and get a magical second wind in their careers. This is where they just gets worse every time. Ask D Ford. So no, I look, McCaffrey I know he's from here and it was babysitted by Kyle and it great and McCaffrey. No. Rob, no. No.
You know what's funny? Like McKinnon left. Like McKinnon couldn't get on the field. He left and actually had a decent year in Kansas City. Like
he's not that good. Though. He was yeah.
D Ford, don't retire. You know what you should do, D, is let the 49ers trade you. It's not you, okay?
McKinnon is such a better fit than the Chiefs. McKinnon's actually decent on those little screens. On running the ball in outside zone, it was freaking awful. He was terrible. Even when he's a better fit in Kansas City. Throw just those little screen passes. Imagine what Andy Reid would do with Debo.
Maybe it was because McKinnon changed his number to 1.
I think that's what it was. Maybe it's because he left this training staff. Jacob, what's up? Jacob says, hate the media bashing Trey. Kid has barely played and they want to write him off. It's so stupid considering he's shown lots of potential. Should have played the kid. Yeah, man. And we're going to talk about 2 people in particular that are coming out and bashing him. It's very interesting. It's like Joe Montana started off the skepticism. Then a bunch of Niners-related reporters came back to say that Joe was wrong. And now independent analysts are backing up Joe. It's very interesting. A lot of people have something to say about Trey Lance is the ultimate Rorschach test, the ultimate ink block test. There's not a lot there. You could interpret however you want. Like I saw an article a couple of weeks ago in a big newspaper around here saying that Trey Lance needs to show improvement. Well, you could argue he did. I completed like 50% of his throws in his first start and 70% of his throws in the second start. Like you can kind of make any argument you want to make about Lance because there's this much evidence. And it's interesting to see people go real far in either direction, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Poe says Trey can learn from Aaron Rodgers. We can win 3 Super Bowls with Rodgers. 3 is better than 1. Yeah, I mean, I'm not against bringing in one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. I'm not against that. I just don't think the Packers are going to let that happen. The Bucs might facilitate something like that with Brady, but I don't think Kyle's going to let it happen. I think it's clear that Kyle was interested in Rodgers. They tried to make that move last year. Kyle said no to Brady. I don't know if he to change his mind on that. He said no to Brady. He wanted Rodgers, and the Packers were like, no. I don't know that the Packers are going to change their stance on that. I think the Packers would rather Rodgers just retire.
Yeah, and we just talked about that. I think in regards to like learning behind a quarterback, I think Trey has pretty much learned all he can learn behind someone. Like it's time to get experience on the field now. I mean, I'm sure
that's how Steve Young felt in 1987, 1988.
What did Debo say when they asked him about Trey Lance? He said it's going to take him a while because of reps. He didn't
get him.
Like he's not going to get Trey can't get reps with Aaron Rodgers playing out there or Tom Brady. Like the guy needs experience. He needs to get on the field and play. That's what he needs. He doesn't need to play scout team quarterback. He needs to play.
Well, you could argue if the Niners trade for Rodgers or Brady, what they do is they would trade Trey Lance for picks and then use those picks to get the play. I mean, you could argue, or they would trade Lance. So Lance might get those reps somewhere else.
Yeah. Or you might have to trade Trey straight up or something like that. Like if they're interested, right?
I think that's what I think Tampa would want. O-line is the biggest issue the Niners need to fix. I wish the Niners drafted a stud O-line early this past year. Oh wait. Yeah, it is the issue. They just don't do well drafting and developing offensive linemen, especially ones that went to freaking Notre Dame. Stop drafting Notre Dame offensive linemen. You need to trade for them. Like they've had success in free agency and with trades on the offensive line. Richburg was good when he was healthy. Mack was fine. Tomlinson's decent. Trent Williams is what they wanted. Stop. They can't draft and develop offensive linemen. Colton Kivitz.
Maybe this will be the year.
Have you seen if Trey Lance has fixed that wobble? Man, they wouldn't let him play football this year, so it's hard to say.
I thought he was throwing better. I thought it looked a little better towards the end of the year. I'm sure it'll be worked on. If you look at his college tape, it wasn't there, so it has to be something that happened in between.
This learn behind so-and-so is nonsense, says Sean O'Leary. If that concept was true, every caddy on the PGA Tour would be on the cusp of getting his tour card. Also, if the concept were true, Jimmy Garoppolo would be the smartest quarterback in the league. He learned under Tom Brady for 4 years. 4 years. And you would never know it. You would never know it. By far the lowest football IQ of any starting quarterback in the league, in my opinion. And yet he was supposed to have learned by osmosis from Brady. You actually have to have – you can't just – I don't know. It's an active – you have to learn actively. I don't know if just sitting there in the room and smiling does it.
Yeah, I think that's true with anything. I think when you're actually in it and doing something, you're learning. It accelerates your learning. You just have to prepare yourself so that you're not going to like totally, take a dump in the bed or whatever. Like, but as long as you're like you're a little bit protected and you have enough knowledge and you're just not exactly there, then your learning it'll accelerate. Like me personally in the business world, like I applied to jobs probably that have a little bit more than the skills that I have currently now. So once I get into the job, my learning will accelerate and I'll pick up those skills. So